let's talk about something kind of fascinating. The idea that some of your most normal, everyday habits, well, they might not be as innocent as you think. In fact, you might be a bit of an outlaw and not even know it.
So, let me just ask you straight up. Think about your days so far, everything you've done. Did you break the law?
And hey, before you say no way, I'm gonna bet the answer is yeah, probably. But don't worry, you are in very good company.
Now, we're not talking about some secret criminal life here. We're diving into the psychology behind what you could call your everyday crime spree. You know, those little rules we all bend all the time without even thinking about it. Just to be super clear, forget about dramatic heists and police chases. This is all about the quiet, automatic, ordinary habits that, technically, put you on the wrong side of the law.
So what are these so-called harmless habits? Come on, let's take a look at the evidence and see how many of these sound familiar.
Ever jaywalked on a totally empty street? Shared your Netflix password with your parents or a friend? Pushed it, just a little over the speed limit to keep up with traffic? What about rolling through a stop sign? Or grabbing a quick image from Google for a presentation? Or maybe lying about your age to sign up for something online? I'm guessing at least one or two of those are ringing a bell.
Okay, so why do we do these things? This is where it gets really, really interesting. It's not because we're bad people. It's all about your brain's autopilot, these hidden psychological shortcuts that are designed for one thing, efficiency, not for following the letter of the law.
Let's go back to jaywalking. You're at a corner, you look both ways, the street is completely empty, so you cross. You're not trying to be a rebel, your brain just did a lightning-fast risk assessment and said, we're good to go.
This is a perfect example of something called the cost-benefit bias. Your brain instantly calculates that the reward, saving, 20 seconds, is way bigger than the tiny risk of getting a ticket. So boom, green light. It's not a moral lapse, it's just a mental shortcut.
Okay, how about this one? Sharing your streaming password. Yeah, the terms of service probably say not to, but it just feels right, doesn't it? It feels generous. And that feeling, that's coming from somewhere deep inside, from our evolutionary psychology. We are literally wired to cooperate in tribes. For thousands of years, sharing was how we survived. So your brain is always going to value that ancient instinct for loyalty over some corporation's fine print.
Okay, let's build on this. You're on the highway. The sign says 55, but every single car around you is going 65. What do? Come on, you probably match their speed, right?
And here's the wild part. When everyone else is doing it, your brain doesn't register it as breaking the law. It registers it as the new normal. This is just what we do here.
So you have this total conflict going on. The official law says 55, but the real-world group behavior says 65. In that moment, which one feels safer, more natural to follow? The group, every time.
This all boils down to a powerful psychological force called social proof. When we're not sure what to do, our brain has a go-to shortcut. Just do what everyone else is doing. Follow the herd. It's simple, it's usually safe, and it's almost always automatic.
Now this next one. This one's a little more serious, but it is incredibly common. You're driving, your phone buzzes. You know you shouldn't, but you take a peek, just for a second.
So why do we take that risk? It's something called optimism bias. It's this little voice in our head that convinces us that bad things, like a car accident, are just more likely to happen to other people, not to us. Our brain tells us, it's fine, I'm a good driver, I can handle it.
So when you put all of these pieces together, you start to see this huge divide between the laws on the books and the unwritten social rules we actually live by. And 9 times out of 10, our brain is way more loyal to the herd than it is to the law.
It really boils down to your brain's favorite excuses. We're wired to underestimate the consequences, to go with the flow, to pick the easiest route, to ignore victims we can't see, and to just assume we're probably not going to get caught. It's the perfect storm for breaking little rules. And this, right here, is the most profound part of it all. When millions of us are all casually breaking the same minor laws, it's more than just a bunch of small violations. It's society itself, silently renegotiating what's actually considered acceptable.
So what's the point of all this? To make you feel guilty? No, absolutely not. The whole point is to move from reflex to intention, because the second you become aware of these automatic habits, you suddenly get the power to choose.
And it's actually a pretty simple path.
First, just recognize the reflex as it's happening. Oh, look at that, I'm about to roll through this stop sign. Second, just ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is it a habit? Am I late? And third, you can make an actual choice instead of just letting your autopilot take over.
Because here's the real takeaway. The most powerful changes in our behavior, they don't start with new laws or bigger fines. They start with that quiet internal moment of simply becoming aware of how our own minds work.
So yeah, you probably broke a minor law today, but that doesn't make you a criminal. It just makes you human, with a brain that's hardwired for shortcuts. So the real question is, now that you know, what automatic habit will you notice first?